This is Carol Ann Dennis. She's a marketplace viewer.
This is your pen camera?
Today, we're rigging her up with hidden cameras.
I think we're going to have a good day.
So now she's a marketplace detective. With her help, we're going undercover to test just how clean hotels actually are.
When I saw your program last year, I was horrified.
Because last year, we all saw things we'd rather forget.
One scene that especially was when the woman washed the toilet.
Remember this housekeeper we caught on camera? She swirled the toilet brush in the toilet, then the sink and faucet.
I couldn't believe my eyes that that was happening.
It got Carol Ann and lots of you asking, have hotels shaped up?
The rooms are clean. We clean the rooms as much we can.
You're about to find out.
We're back.
'Cause this week on Marketplace,
I wonder what we'll find this time.
we're checking in again. Have hotels cleaned up their act?
Wow, that doesn't look good, does it?
Look at that.
We showed them the problems.
Could this be the same stain as last year?
It's possible.
Have they found solutions?
Absolutely cross-contamination city, isn't it?
Find out how to protect yourself with our hotel survival guide.
It works.
We're in Toronto with nurse Carol Ann Dennis.
Hotels should be offering a clean environment to a traveler.
She loves to travel and knows how picking up a bug can ruin a trip.
It's so important that I stay in a clean room so that I don't get sick.
So she's heading in to 6 Toronto hotels with a marketplace producer to see how clean hotels claim to be.
So the rooms are really, really clean. Like, I'm a stickler on cleanliness.
A top priority, hotels tell her.
We have to make sure that everything is met with your
It's okay.
with your expectations.
Now that's assurance.
The Holiday Inn brand has certain rules and regulations and inspectors that come in.
She's convinced so far.
I believe if I booked a room here, that I would get a clean room.
But should you believe what you're being told? Last year, Marketplace put 6 hotel chains to the test across the country and uncovered some grimy facts. Hotels can be pretty dirty, could even make you sick. After our story aired, hotel chains told us they were addressing test results, retraining staff on proper cleaning procedures, and doing increased inspections. So, have those promises made any difference? While Carol Ann sleuths at the front desk, upstairs, I'm attempting a disguise. Well, sorta. Along with partner in crime, Keith Warner. Remember him? He's one of Canada's top microbiologists and a prof at the University of Guelph. This suitcase holds all the tools to measure germs. Our getup might be overkill, but we're trying to keep our cover, because the hotel industry sure saw our show. At Super 8, listen to what Carol Ann hears.
So, what show are you watching?
Yes.
Yeah, so don't worry about it. We do cleaning every day, right, for all the rooms.
Problem solved, says the Sheridan.
That was being taken care of with whatever it is on top of that.
And at Econo Lodge, he passes the buck.
With the show wasn't much of us actually. The problem was the housekeeping mistakenly used the same rag she used in the sink to the toilet.
Okay.
That was our side, but the other things you're seeing, that wasn't us.
Actually, you're about to find out. It was. In Toronto, we're checking back into every chain, 3 rooms per hotel. Our first stop? Econo Lodge. Last year, the chain ranked lowest on our cleanliness scale. So the only way to go is up, right?
Oh, there's that smell again.
Yeah, it smells familiar, doesn't it?
Familiar smell, familiar room. It's one of the same rooms we originally tested.
Yeah, let's just close the curtains.
Out comes the black light. It uncovers what you can't normally see.
Inside the coffee filter, it looks quite clean, so
It looks better than last year.
But it doesn't take long to notice something Econolodge didn't.
So what we also noticed last time was the walls were notoriously, should we say, stained.
Remember that urine stain? The stain we pointed out to Econolodge last year?
See those streaks? That's likely urine going down the wall. Does that look like it would be meeting a guest's expectation of a clean room?
It wouldn't look like it's meeting my expectation of the standards we set as an organization.
So what about those standards? Finding it once, bad enough, but still there?
Exactly the same, doesn't it?
That looks like another waterfall. Oh, all the way dripping down.
It's like nothing's changed, has it? We highlighted this and I believe it was unacceptable then. It's not good.
We share our findings with Carol Ann.
That's unacceptable. Something should be done about that.
And something should be done too about beds. If hotels learned anything from our test, Keith says, it should have been to focus on cleaner beds. After all, when we checked into the Best Western last year, our findings were pretty gross. Geez, sorry. It's a nail.
Oh, it is a nail.
Nail clippings.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All over the bed. How were they missed? So we head back to Best Western's scene of the grime. Last year, it said it would continue to train and educate housekeeping teams with inspection black lights.
So coming onto the throw then, well, the first thing you notice is the real heavy dusting.
You hardly need a black light to spot the dust. It's all over.
Last time we found nail clippings here, so we don't see those this time around.
No, not so sure.
Slight improvement.
But I don't know, I think I would prefer the clippings to all this dust, to be honest.
Seems like Best Westerns not off to a good start.
Oh, David, look at that.
Dirty pillowcases. Yuck.
Drool, maybe?
Yes, I think at the best you could say it's drool.
Suddenly,
We've just discovered a bed bug.
we've got company.
No, I think it's just a fly.
Okay, it's not a bed bug, but
I do know this should not be on a comforter.
No. Oh, dear.
Oh.
how about under the comforter?
Wow, that doesn't look good, does it?
Oh, look at that.
Well, definitely some sort of... It's definitely a liquid of some kind. It's not tissue.
Why are we still seeing this kind of shoddy cleaning?
Well, I think with this company, it's obvious they might have listened to the program, might have heard the evidence, but there's no real difference. If anything, I think the company's gone backwards rather than forwards on the cleaning.
And not just the Best Western, we find dirty bedding at every single hotel we test. Coming up,
The bottom line is money in a lot of places.
Oh, in goes the sponge. You just put the sponge in with that wet toilet brush.
wait till we reveal this big ick factor.
How good a job can a cleaner do if this is what they're given?
And
What'd they do better this time?
find out how hotels rank from worst to best. I'm undercover in Toronto with microbiologist Keith Warrener. A year after we first headed in, we're checking in again to 6 of Canada's top hotel chains. Our mission? Find out if hotels are living up to promises of clean rooms. Like last year, Keith pulls out his germ meter. It measures how clean or germy a surface is. Anything under 300 is a pass. Between 300 and 1,000, a caution. Anything over 1,000, a fail. In all 6 Toronto hotels, like this Holiday Inn, we find some low readings,
The toilet seats seem to be much more improved.
but we're still finding lots of cautions.
Oh, this score for the faucet is 657.
And fails.
Telephone, 5,656. That's very high.
And as we inspect upstairs, downstairs, Carol Ann's being sold assurances.
When you see a program on TV and then they mention and they show prices and then you go,
Have they been taking care? Another obvious hotspot to test? Remote controls. How will this Sheraton remote do?
Look at 3,258.
That's even worse than the last time we tested remotes.
Well, it's 100 times more than you would expect from a clean surface.
And the highest count of all 6 hotels we test. At the Best Western, even this remote, designed for easy cleaning, fails. It earns over 2,600.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
That is ridiculously high.
The frustrating thing, I think, when people see this is that they invested a lot of money on these nice design remotes, but people don't clean them.
They sure don't. Last year, we watched this housekeeper clean the room, but ignore the remote. So we give it a try.
If they're not going to clean the remote control,
Be proactive.
We wipe it down and swab again.
Let's just see how a 10-second wipe will affect it.
The result this time, 530.
Got it right down, over 2,000 reduction.
you're welcome, future customer.
Bottom line for these gadgets, we find filthy remotes at every hotel we test, except for Super 8. And hey, we're not expecting rooms to be sterile. We just want them to actually be clean. Especially when we're talking bathrooms, another area Keith says hotels should be focusing on. 'Cause last year we found some really high counts, like at the Fairmont Hotel Vancouver.
Wow, look at that. 6,524.
Same deal this year.
You can see things growing in.
At the Fairmont Royal York, the highest count on any high-touch surface we test.
Well, you know, that's amazing, isn't it? 30,604. Poor design. How can you clean that? It's impossible.
But the germ meter can only tell so much. Keith applies what's called contact plates. They pick up bacteria, help it grow, so we can find out what's hiding. Last time round, we found superbugs, antibiotic-resistant bacteria, in every hotel we tested. At Toronto's Fairmont Royal York, MRSA was growing on the faucet.
You found a superbug, a bug that can kill people in a high-end hotel room.
Exactly. And as I said, it's not so unexpected because MRSA is widespread, but to finding on a faucet, which should have been cleaned, was very alarming.
In response to our findings, the Royal York tweeted us saying they were taking our report seriously and that many measures are in place. So, how's that working out?
Do you think we might find that again?
It wouldn't surprise me if we find MRSA again, but time will tell. We'll definitely find something, let's put it that way.
And we do. Not on the faucet, but other places, like this comforter. There's lots at other hotels, too. Some hot spots. At the Holiday Inn, it's on a lamp. This Econo-Lodge bed cover. MRSA's also on a Best Western telephone.
It'll be interesting to see this one.
And a Sheraton Center countertop. If you're healthy, you're probably okay, but if not, that superbug could be a big problem. Notice the only hotel we didn't mention? No superbugs at Super 8.
the bottom line is money in a lot of places where these rooms need to be cleaned. They're understaffed and they do what they need to get done at the expense of the customer.
What comes at the expense of the customer? As part of our test,
Everything's rolling, right, John? Mm-hmm.
We're setting up hidden cameras again.
I was just wondering if someone could come clean my room.
So we can see what's going on when we're not there. 'Cause last year there were some surprises, like this glass being washed with dirty gloves and placed back in the room. That was the Sheraton. What's going on this year? More washing in the sink, this time at the Royal York, another higher-end hotel. I head to the University of Guelph. We're back. To show Keith our new hidden camera footage.
Starting with the Royal York.
It just makes even me cringe as a microbiologist.
At the Sheraton, watch how this housekeeper wipes the toilet from inside out. And on a toilet seat, we find C. difficile, a dangerous superbug.
Is anything you see here a possible explanation?
The fact C. difficile was there just illustrates she wasn't sanitizing, she was just wiping. So it's just putting it from one place to another place. Cross-contaminating, not decontaminating.
One big spread fest.
Exactly.
Same poor cleaning at the Holiday Inn and the Super 8. But Keith has a theory about what else is causing high contamination counts. The containers hotels supply housekeepers.
What do you think about all of the supplies being in one container?
Well, that's slightly concerning because obviously if they're in the same container, they're going to be cross-contaminating.
And after cleaning out this toilet bowl, the brush gets put back in the caddy on the counter. Imagine each drop of water can have about 1 billion bacteria.
You're just transferring them, and the results indicate that was happening big time.
And at the Super 8, a different container altogether.
She's got a milk jug with a toilet brush and a sponge in the same container.
Absolutely cross-contamination city, isn't it? This is notorious as a sort of attractant for contamination, spreading contamination. You should never use a sponge.
Oh, in goes the sponge. She just put the sponge in with that wet toilet brush.
And squirting sanitizer here and there, it's not enough to be effective.
How can you clean something if you're not going to use sanitizer?
Do you think the cleaners are being given the proper equipment to prevent cross-contamination?
They're not given the equipment, they're not given the training. Without those two, all they can give you is their sort of spirit and hard work.
Coming up, we reveal our hotel rankings.
Well, the best Western seems to have gone to the worst Western.
And my survival guide to help protect you.
Okay, here's what I do.
We've been dropping in on big hotel chains to find out if they kept their promises to clean up their act.
Whoa.
There you go, 6,152.
6,000. Over 6,000 on a bedside lamp.
Not what you'd hoped, huh?
Wow, look at that. It's like a constellation of stars, isn't it? It's total dusted up.
Marketplace was here. I guess nobody else was.
We've crunched our test results and ranked the Toronto hotels from least improved to most. Who comes in last?
So we've done all of our testing. What's the big picture here?
Well, the best Western seems to have gone to the worst Western. Certainly the microbiological counts look fine, although overall they've taken a big step backwards.
So the best Western earns the worst spot?
That'll be fair to say.
Which one's next? The hotel that still has urine on its walls.
Econo Lodge.
They'd made some improvements with fresh bath mats.
It's very pristine, there's no mold on it at all.
But beds still weren't clean, and there were high counts of bacteria everywhere. So Econo Lodge doesn't do well. But who's almost tied? The Holiday Inn.
So Keith, what do you think?
This is another hotel that's gone backwards on their cleaning standards.
Yikes. In the middle of the pack, the Sheraton Centre. It had the highest number of superbugs. But when we found E. coli in an ice machine last year, the Sheraton stepped up its cleaning sked, so now they're clean as a whistle. What's Marketplace viewer Carol Ann think?
When you present to them the areas of a problem and they do something about it, it makes people want to come and stay with them.
Slightly better in our rankings, the Royal York. They washed a glass in the sink and had some really high bacterial counts. But we did see improvements.
Absolutely no dust whatsoever, amazing.
Spotless.
It is.
So, which hotel ranks the cleanest and most improved of all the hotels we test? Drum roll, please.
Super 8.
Yep, one of the no-frills chains.
What'd they do better this time?
Well, the decor could be improved, and there are issues with the bathroom cleaning. But overall, it was one of the best hotels visited from a sanitary point of view.
But big picture, the hotel industry has a ways to go to clean up its act. We ask all the chains for interviews. We also ask the Hotel Association of Canada. They all say no. Guess they have reservations? So, when I travel, I take things into my own hands.
Okay, here's what I do.
First thing, out come the alcohol wipes for light switches, door handles, the phone, and clock radio, the taps, and toilet seat. I put a towel down for my toiletries. And my own cup means I don't have to hope hotel glasses are clean. When it comes to the notorious remote control, I put it in a baggie.
It works.
Lastly, I keep a pair of slippers just for hotels.
It all sounds like a lot, but it takes 2 minutes.
Worth it. Once you know the dirt on hotels. So, how clean was your room? Go to cbc.ca/marketplace now and fill out our hotel guest comment card.